Oh, yeah. Sometimes you just got to kick the door in. That's it. Yeah, sometimes you just got to come in really loud, really hard. It's okay. You know, there used to be there's a ceremony that is done. Um, I'm looking to the left. I'm looking to the left because I'm doing different streams there, Barry. So, no, watching for the man to come up behind me. No, we have 3 screens worth of streams. Say that a bunch of times fast and it'll confuse you. And I was having trouble with one. So eventually stack these and I'll just be looking up. Jake, sorry to hear that. Seems like everybody's having a tough Monday. I didn't have no sweet tea. Jake, you're funny. But I was going to say they have a ceremony at one of the, and I'm not going one of the military bases. And they may all have them, but I know of one. It's infantry. And when they get ready to go into a bad situation, they're fixing to enter into the worst, enter into the mountainous regions of Afghanistan type stuff, where you're going to be, remember the big surge pushing people back, killing bad guys, taking names, but along the way, a lot of bad, a lot of bad things going to happen to some of those infantry. Bad. So they have a ceremony. They kick off, and they play some really heavy metal, and it's all fully authorized. It's all a ceremony where these guys step off. You know why? Because they're battle rattled. They're fixing to go into maneuvers, into action. Flying overseas into a hot spot, and some of those guys are not coming back. And they're just saying goodbye. And so Monday today, we had to come in kicking the door down. Rob's sick, not bad sick. I don't even know if he's watching. If I was him, I wouldn't even be watching, as sick as he said he was. Miss Elizabeth not feeling well tonight. I don't know. We're going to kick the germs out. If the weather changed and people are getting sick, it was actually a little hot over the weekend, and today it's cold. It feels like, it's dreary, overcast, windy, cold. We're just going to have to kick the door down. We're not going to take it. We're not going to take it. We're going into action. Battle rattle, baby. So this is Mama Said. We're flying solo right now, and it'll be all right. Hey, Barry, how you doing? Good to see all of you in here and everybody else that's in here. People coming in on Instagram and over in Podbean. That's what I was trying to pay attention to was Podbean. I brought it live in tonight, and it was flashing. Never seen it do that before. I wasn't sure if I was live or not or whatever. Not flashing me, just flashing on the screen. And it was I was about to kill the live, and finally we brought it back up. So, the life of a podcaster is everything is good until right before go, or right as you go into go. And when you do that, then just crap happens, and you got to work it, So knock the door down. Dave in the AM. It's Monday Night Live. And Mama said some stuff. We're going to talk about home remedies tonight. Home remedies. And yes, I see it there, Jake. You're going to be a speaker at, what did he say there? He didn't say where at. You're going to be a speaker in Georgia in the future. First live event from the great state of Georgia. Yeah. Well, we'd be looking forward to that. Yeah. You come on in, kick the door down on Georgia and come in and do a live event. Yeah. We like that, Jake. So, yeah, we're going to talk about home remedies, buy or sell. Feel free to get involved in the chat. I've got quite a few here. I hate that the crew can't be here. Had a secondary part of this that we'll have to wait until next Monday because it requires attention and assistance and other people to be here. So we will set that in the cooler. We'll just mark it not yet or something. You ever do that? We work in a restaurant. You got the cooler. Sometimes you mark stuff good until a certain day, or no good and you get it out. If it's bad, you get it out. But you make markings on it. Don't use until or something. I had a military guy. He was a longtime cook. He was a cook in the National Guard. He probably served in regular military too. But when I worked with him, he would do his weekends, on military maneuvers and stuff. And he chose me to open the breakfast hour when he was gone. That first day was like, oh my gosh. I thought, what have I got myself into? But anyway, he would make up these concoctions and put them in the cooler. And he just made up stuff. He just made up stuff. And he just put these names on it. I don't even know what it means. And seriously, he would say something like whatchamacallit or something like that. And because people would come up and go, hey, I don't know what you got on the breakfast bar out here. I want some more of it. It was really good. And they said, what whatchamacallit? Because you'd say, what is it? They say, I don't know whatchamacallit. So he just started naming off whatchamacallits. Oh. But anyway, we're going to talk about home remedies tonight for a little bit. and we'll endeavor to persevere, as the Indians said to the outlaw Josie Wells. And oh yeah, and hope you've had a good Monday. Sounds like some have had a bad Monday. I hope yours has been good. I hope you had a good weekend. We know some folks that had some hard times over the weekend, and a lady, she just retired, and I would ask you to pray for her. Y'all wouldn't probably know her, but we'd ask you to remember a lady whose mom passed. Just found out about it. I think it happened Saturday. I found out about it today. So keep that family in your prayers. So it's the circle of life. Things happen. I guess, it comes for all of us eventually. And, just pray, but, pray for that family. Pray for some other people we know in difficult situations today. Situations they wish they were not in, but they are. So they need prayer. This Mama Said is brought to you by Patriot Mobile. You see on the screen behind me. Make the switch today. Promo code cornbread, and it'll save you money. And you'll be supporting an American company, and you'll be supporting the Southern Fried Podcast, or the Southern Fried Cornbread Nation, we like to say now. And I was talking. I posted some stuff today, and I don't remember which stream it was on. I don't remember. I guess, but I might get it wrong, so I'll just say. But anyway, I've had a lot of comments over the last several days about several things. But this lady commented about our posting about Patriot Mobile, and she said she knew the owners, and she said they are the sweetest people. And we knew. I mean, we don't know the owners, but we know the company, and we know the people that we're dealing with and how great they are. And she just talked about. What what a blessing they were. So just remember us in that. And if you're ready to make a switch, look, if you're happy with what you got, you're happy with what you got. But I'm telling you, you can go look at the pricing you're going to get a month free, and you can get the pricing to help you switch over. You can still use your carrier, and just find the model that fits you well. Michael says Patriot Mobile has treated me very well, and really well, or very well. And so yeah, it's an opportunity for you. And if it doesn't fit your situation, that's fine. We're just making we think it's a great vehicle to achieve a lot of things. One, it's going to take money away from those people are always frustrated about their phone service, the way they're treated, the customer service, and all this stuff. And here's an opportunity to support a company that stands for what you believe in, or I think that most Americans believe in, which is, the First and Second Amendment for sure, the unborn. And I tell you, it's just nice to sit down and talk to a company that has no problem talking about my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And what a blessing. So we're kind of still waiting on the fully to be onboarded. There's a lot that's still got to happen. We're waiting on some final stuff, and I'm sure they're assisting a lot of other entities, from the very famous to down to me, the not famous, the infamous, me and Rob. I don't know, we're getting a little more famous. Rob out there doing the Saturday night wrestling, and he's going to get world famous. Who knows? He might be they might bring him up on the big time. He might be one of those announcers in the next year. They just pull him away from me and bring him up to big time. Now he's up there walking around and trash talking, getting on the ladies who complain about how loud it is. You got to go watch it just to hear Rob jump on a Karen. He said her name was Karen. He called her a Karen. I don't know. If you listen to Rob, it's hilarious. What the heck is going on? What do you mean it's too loud in here? Oh, having fun. For a good cause, raise some money, and that's always a blessing. And so be looking for more of that. And isn't Robert perfect for that? Isn't Robert perfect for that? It's like in his wheelhouse. I mean, if that was a batting lineup, he's number 4 hole. He's the cleanup hitter. That's his thing, I mean, he did it. He's involved with it. Has a passion for it. And it's funny. And I don't know if Jake's still in here, and I don't know if Rob's listening, but I went into the lake. I went into Jake's live. I think it was, I don't know, Friday night or something. And Jake, he just, I don't know. He's having a hard time believing that Rob wrestled. I go into his live. And Jake said, okay, Dave in the AM, what's the over-under on if Robert really ever wrestled? I said, dude, I'm telling you, I don't lie. He did it. Okay. I've seen it. It's like he's having the hardest time believing it. I don't know what that says about you, Rob, but Jake's having a hard time believing this. I think he's just used to you pulling his chain, cutting up and going on. He thinks it's all a big joke. He thinks it's a skit. He thinks we've just made up this skit that Rob was this wrestler. We do make some skits up. We've got some things that we do. Yeah, he's still here. You hear me. But maybe, I don't know, do you believe me now that Rob really did wrestle? Wrestle? Oh, we even showed him the picture of him walking in, the picture of him walking in, getting ready to walk down the ramp, go wrestle with his wrestling partner. And Jake's still having a hard time believing that. It's okay, Jake. I'm just having fun. Robert Diamond, dog tag. Remember him? He posted some new stuff. Michael says, I would have wrestled until I see what Tojo did when he was out of control. Jake says, by gosh, I don't believe anything until I see proof. He's waiting on video evidence. But you know what's going to happen, Jake? You're going to say, that's a fake. You've doctored it up. Oh, well, you can go watch that video from Saturday night, and that's proof that he was at least at a wrestling event. And he was doing color commentary at the wrestling event. So there you go, buddy. I hope Rob didn't wear tights. I think he was more of a jeans kind of guy, He's that he gets better than that. He's that guy that was kind of like the country boy kind of coming in, He wasn't a tight wearing kind of guy. I didn't see him wear tights. Did he wear tights? I don't know. Not sure. I didn't go to all the matches, but I have seen some video too. He had shown me some of the video way back when. I seen more, but I did see him at a wrestling match. Hillbilly Rob. There you go. That would have been a good name for him, Hillbilly Rob. He could have come out, hat on sideways, and wife beater on, some big old boots. I was listening to Robinson Cognito. He wears a wig. I was listening to Richard Petty over the weekend at Darlington. Him and Kyle came in the booth, and they asked him if there was any. Hey, Lewis, they were asking if there was anything to the legend about us that he was going to race IndyCar at one time, and the reason he didn't was they told him he had to take his cowboy boots off. He said he was dabbling with the idea, but it's so tight quarters in those Indy cars. There's no room. He's long-legged anyway, but they said, you got to take the boots off. He said, that's it. I'm out. I am out. I got to do it. I think that's cool. Don't mess with a man's cowboy boots, right? Well, like I said, weather was bad over the weekend. There was some deaths. Unfortunately, Rob was telling me this morning that he heard thunder and I think in the rain and before I went to work. And we haven't really talked at all today until he said, hey, man, I'm sick. And so he didn't think he would be here because he was bad sick. So prayers to all of them. Prayers up and prayers out for all those we're asking for prayer and need prayer. It'll be okay. This too shall pass, one way or the other, as we say. So, again, Mama said, we're going to talk about home remedies tonight. Some of these are very common, some maybe not so common. And we'll just go down the list. I've got a few. We'll do half now and half after the commercial break. We try to go middle ways and take a little break and get a couple commercials in and stuff, and then we'll finish them up. But yeah, especially in the South, I mean, there's a lot of home remedies. My daddy said the home remedy that his mom, my grandmother, did to him was always castor oil. There might have been some other stuff, but he don't remember. He never told me about anything. And there is a castor oil in here that I'm going to use, but that was a cure-all for everything. He said you hated the castor oil so bad that you immediately would try to do your best to not be sick because you didn't want to get a good couple of doses of that. I can also say in my life I have never had it. I would hear him tell the story, and I remember a couple of times when I wasn't feeling good, he kind of threatened it. Like, I'll just get some castor oil. My mom was like, "No, we're not doing that." Mom said she never had it, or I don't think she had it, but she said, "No, no, he's not getting that." So, and I have seen some home remedies over the years that I would not let um, my kiddos be done that way, or even grandchildren. There was a couple of times. A couple of them seemed a little radical to me. I don't remember what they were now. At the time, I was like, "No, we ain't doing that." And Lynn would say, "Well, they say it works." I said, "I don't care. We're going a different path." It sounded almost like torture. Like we're not doing it. So some of these are very common. We'll start off with the easy ones. Honey and lemon for a sore throat. Honey and lemon for a sore and scratchy throat. Buy or sell. I think most people in the South would say buy. So honey and lemon for a sore throat. I've seen that many times myself. I don't know if I've ever done it actually. Um, Not because I'm not a big on lemon. So I had some alternative medications and stuff that I used. But I had a lot of sore throats when I was a kid. They thought they were going to, take out my tonsils, and came very close, but never did. Some of you may have had that, the tonsillitis, whatever. I had them removed, got loads of ice cream. I never did, but there's other remedy stuff you add in, but this is the family. This is the family one, honey and lemon for sore throat. I'm buying. I know that people swear by it, even though I've never done it. It stands to reason that it would help, and so I'm going to buy myself on that one, and we'll move on to number. Well, and number two, I'm going to buy on too. Like I say, it starts out with some that I've heard about. The first two were very common, and so this is for sore throat, honey and lemon. I'm buying. And I'm getting a drink of coffee. So sometimes when you're, "Hey, Miss Jenneth, how you doing on a Monday night? Please tell me you're not sick," because it seems like everybody else is feeling poorly, or at least a couple of people we know are feeling poorly, or just plain out sick, and we don't like that. So honey and lemon, yeah, buying. I'm buying. Number two, and honestly, it does work this way, and it's a funny thing, and it's sweet tea for energy. It will perk you up. I mean, the sugar in it, we load it down with sugar here. I hate to hear that. I hate to hear that. I hope you're all right. What's going on? But sweet tea for energy. Now, and here's the weird thing about it. Now, I could drink coffee, which can give you a little boost. I can drink coffee right up to the time I go to sleep. Doesn't bother me a bit. I can sleep all night. But I cannot drink sweet tea late. Past like 9 o'clock is not good for me to do. I'm really chancing it because two things are going to happen. One, I'm going to be running to the bathroom a lot. And two is I can't go sleep. I have some trouble anyway. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Miss Janet. Y'all remember Miss Janet had to put her cat to sleep. Tough thing. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, we'll get to that one too, Barry. I think it's in the mix here. But actually, it is salt water. Let's do that now because we're going to use it a little bit different way. Salt water for sore throat. My mom always had us do that. My wife, my wife's mom was, bless her heart, love her. She's not with us anymore. She had a lot of home remedies, but she also had some things that I did. She used to say, she'd look at me and say, "David, don't believe it." And I wouldn't ever want to say hurt her feelings, and she just laughed because she knew she could tell the look on my face. I was like, no, and not on that, but other things she would say. But my mother-in-law had a lot of them old phobias and stuff about stuff, folklore, legend kind of stuff. That was more that than home remedies, but she did have some. Honey is a natural antibiotic, Barry says. But sweet tea does energize me. I like it. But you gotta be careful of that sugar. For me, if it's really hot, it can bother my stomach a little bit. Some coffees can. They also make a non-acidic coffee. There's a company out there that does that, and it's supposed to be, to help that, because sometimes I love coffee, but if my stomach's a little sensitive, it's a little sensitive, and there's times where it does bother me. Not if you ever see me not drinking coffee on the show, that's why, because I just don't feel like I can handle it. Stomach's upset a little bit, and I just don't do it. Then I just go to light things, like Sprite or something like that. Miss Jenna says, I can drink sweet tea. It doesn't bother me. Salt water, mom always tells me to do it. Nope. My wife's very big on that, and I'm sure her mom was, because everything that she's big on, her mom was big on. She just passed it down, and but yeah, sweet tea for energy. We don't hear that think it's a remedy, but if you're run down and you need a little kick, you don't got to drink an energy drink. Just get some sweet tea. All right, now I have not heard of this one, and I can honestly say that I wouldn't do it, because I could do the one, but I'm not doing the other. I mean, I have, I guess, kind of had it, but I'm not big on it. Apple cider vinegar for heartburn. A teaspoon in water before meals to settle the stomach. I've never tried it. I could see where it would probably help, but I'm not big on it. I just don't know that I would do that. It's just a teaspoon. But apple cider vinegar for heartburn. Now, a lot of people, as you get older, you start suffering with the old heartburn, acid reflux, all that stuff. And it is true. Now, there's some things I got to be careful to eat, or it can kind of try to come back on me a little bit. I wouldn't say that I deal with heartburn so much as more of the acid reflux, and I have to be careful. But I have had heartburn, and that's no fun. So as you get older, you get up past you get in the golden years, and they say, or not they say, you have that good old chili dog at the ball game. You take the kids to the game. You have the good old ballpark chili dog and got onions on it and all the fixings and all that. You might be up at 1 o'clock in the morning, just, So, if you were going to use something before and it would help, you didn't overdo it, I'd say it's a good thing. I could see that this would probably work. I've just never done it. Apple cider vinegar for heartburn. There is one in here, Michael, I think that we're going to deal with on that, the cayenne. And yes, and I'll tell a story later about mustard. I saw someone badly burned. And I hate mustard, but if I was burnt, I don't guess I'd care. But the cayenne pepper is good for the stomach, he says. And I'm just not big on cayenne, but I guess if you had something, I guess cayenne pepper for congestion. They have cayenne pepper for congestion is one that I found. Sprinkle it in soup or tea to clear sinuses. So I don't know. Have you ever done that? Cayenne pepper for congestion. Sprinkle it in soup or tea to clear the sinuses. I've never heard of this. Well, I could see where it would be, because you're kind of burning stuff out, I guess. But and so I could see that being both ways. But the cayenne pepper for congestion or stomach or whatever has a lot of uses. So yeah, I can see that. I'm not a fan of peppers. I'm not. I'm different. I just don't like stuff like that. A lot of people will go for stuff like that when they're feeling poorly and just kind of, burn it out of themselves. Number five, baking soda for bug bites. Now, there's a lot of different kind of. I seen you mention snuff. There's a lot of old people did a lot of different stuff for bug bites. Baking soda, I have heard of. Make a paste with water and dab it on mosquito bites to stop the itch. There's different. There's some that you buy in the store, calamine lotions and stuff like that. Or yeah, I mean the old timers, they had a lot of tobacco stuff. Yeah, they basically did that. Well, yeah, I mean God did give a lot of things to us, and but there's some things that people go natural on, and it maybe doesn't it doesn't work for that person. I think with anybody, uh, you know, you try different things. What works for one person doesn't work for another. Uh, I want to tell you a crazy one here in a few minutes that my mother-in-law used to say, and I've heard people swear about it at my church, and I said they were absolutely crazy. They used to get so mad at me. I'd say that's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. I mean, talking about wild. You probably heard of it. You're probably going to say, oh, yeah, Dave, I believe in it. We'll come up on that shortly, we'll say. Now, I've never heard of this one either. I guess it's the same sort of similar kind of principle, but I've never heard of this in my life. Cornmeal poultice for boils. Cornmeal poultice for boils. The boils ain't no fun. Mix cornmeal with hot water, wrap in a cloth, and apply to draw out infection. Cornmeal poultice for boils. Have you ever heard of that? I've never in my life heard of that. Because I really haven't heard of, most people don't, I don't know, most people don't go around telling you about their boils. They might say, I got one bothering me. They just deal with it. Michael says that brewer's yeast cured my thyroid. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Never heard of that either. But a cornmeal poultice for boils. I'm interested. Anybody ever heard that? Granny, well, Granny's always had stuff, right? Granny had a salve for boils. I guess it's working the same way, honestly, but different regional things, especially in Appalachia, around the South. You're going to get, from the mountain to the flatlanders, as they say. I'd say it's probably depends on where you were at, what you heard. Some would be the same, some would be different. If you was in the mountains, they probably had a little bit different take on stuff. That's just the way it goes. That's the people down the valley or in different states or, down around Louisiana. And Lord knows the Cajuns probably got all kinds of stuff I don't even have on the list. But Granny was from the mountain. That says it right there. Yeah. So their look on things is going to be a little different. It doesn't make it right or wrong. It's just different. And that's just the way it goes. So yeah. Okay, Rob's messaged me. Y'all pray for him. He is on his way home. I don't think he'd mind me saying, from the emergency room. He was dehydrated bad because he got sick. And so they sent him home with some medication, and he's exhausted. He's going to bed when he gets home. So y'all pray for him. So that's enough said there. You get the idea of being sick, but I didn't know till he sent me that he went to the ER, which I'm glad he did if he's dehydrated. We'll tell him, get better. So y'all pray for Rob. Oh yeah, I think I remember you telling me that, Michael, that she was part Cherokee. Um, we didn't have Cherokee. My dad always said that we probably did, but we did have some Apache, but it was only one part of the family, and they didn't stay around here. They went out to Oklahoma. Uh, it's not a direct line for me. It would be um, cousin that married a Cherokee. So there's all kinds of things. I would love to know the backstory on the Oklahoma part of our family and those that even went further west, because I'm sure there's some great stories there. Um, yeah, the problem I have, I start researching in books and the web, and there's something natural for everything. Oh, well, yeah. It's, the catchphrase today is holistic medicine. Everybody's looking for some natural things. Years ago in our area, the everybody was selling the water. The water that was supposed to help clean you out of certain things. People that were really sick got into that or had cancer, and bringing up the pH and all that. I don't know if they still do it, but it was a big years ago. You don't hear as much about it, or I really don't hear anything about it now. But there's things that get trendy. But there's a guy. I say a guy only because I can't think of his name. And he's been on Killer Carl's show quite a bit, and he's from Alabama, if I remember right. And he does this kind of thing. They're not doctors, but they do a lot of holistic medicines and stuff. And he's a fine young man. And Reagan's, God, I can't remember what that was. I'll look that up, and maybe in a break or something we'll get that. I don't. He goes on Killer Carl's a lot. And I didn't want to try to pull him over or anything, but I can definitely find out when he's going to be on again. Y'all could watch that. But they're interesting folks in legit business. He's the owner operator, I think. So involved in a lot of that. Barry says for boils or drying out infection, how do you say black petroleum product call from? I don't know, but a lot of different things are used for drawing things out. And some people use some pretty radical stuff. It's a mahal. It's a thermal. It's a thermal. It's a thermal. I'll say that. I get tongue twisted trying to say it. But people got some stuff, I'm telling you, and they swear by it. So I'm not here to argue with Granny. I'm not, and in fact, it's not an argument. I'm just throwing these out, buying or selling. They make sense so far. All right, now we start getting into some that I'm not sure if it works. It may. I've never heard of it. All right, it's called poke salve for joint pain. Make from pokeweed berries, carefully prepared. It says it's a traditional fix for arthritis. I've never heard of that in my life. It's called they call it poke salve for joint pain. And I wanted to pull from a cross section of stuff, so I didn't just pull from my memory or what I know. I pulled some stuff to see if what other things might be out there. I've never heard of this one for joint pain, and that's a big thing. A lot of people making a lot of money on the TV talking about joint pain, and you get a lot of different things. A lot of people around here. I don't think it's in the list. A lot of people right here swear by the elderberry. Swear by it. They say they never get sick until they get sick, I guess. I mean, eventually everybody gets sick, but I think it does for them. It reduces down. Some stuff they haven't since they've been taking it, but poke salve for joint pain. I would be okay with this because it's still on the outside, and maybe it might maybe sometimes it's the power of the mind too. If you think it's going to work, if you believe in it, you can actually make it. I mean, if you believe it hard enough, I mean, it kind of just happens a lot of times. Yeah, but I ain't doing that, Michael. You can bust hot peppers and rub it on for arthritis. I'll take the pain. I'm not I don't even like hot peppers, man. I ain't putting it on. Oh, Barry says there was a one product they banned called jogging in a jug. That sounds like something that happens after an all-nighter. It would, it would kill bacteria in your gut and in your throat. What, what is it? Moonshine and peppers? I'm not making fun, man, but he just killed me with that name, jogging in a jug. I swear. That sounds like somebody said to their old man, he's laying around half a day not getting anything done. Somebody says, "What's wrong with him?" "Oh, he's out there jogging in a jug again." Oh, and Watkins products, I think I've heard of those. There's salves and horse liniment. I've heard a lot of people talk about horse liniment. Moonshine will too. Cure-all. Well, I guess it's a good excuse for the men to say, "Hey, I got a jug." a little shot will do you, huh? They end up singing songs. Tea for Texas in the middle of the night. They just forget about whatever's bothering them because they ain't feeling no pain. Oh. All right, now here's one I'm absolutely, you can shoot me. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. It's disgusting. I've been working my way down this list, and this one just kind of makes me sick at my stomach to even think about it. First of all, you got to know that Dave in the AM does not like collard greens. Don't like them. My wife and my son, my oldest son, they love them. And, I cannot stand it. This is sickening to me. Collard greens juice for detox. I'm out. There's no way I'm doing that. Sip, this is disgusting. Sip the leftover pot liquor, broth. I don't like that either. From cooking greens to cleanse the system. Just go ahead and push me over the cliff. I mean, if you're alive after you've done that and you can hold your lunch down, I guess you ain't worried about. Yeah, you dang right you're gonna be cleansed. There's not gonna be anything left. That's just disgusting. Oh my gosh, worse than pickle juice. My gosh, I can't even believe. Oh. Yeah, I've heard of that, Michael. The horse liniment will speed up healing cuts and bug bites. For that, Barry says, my father had me pick poke salad to eat like greens. There's a lot of people around here did that. But there's also a lot of Southerners that say, I ain't doing it. Michael says black walnut outer holes crushed up for athletes' feet. I guess if you got no money, I just go buy the spray, dude. I'm not doing it. Michael said, somehow I'm not surprised, Mike. I don't think there's much you could say that would shock me. I've eaten a lot of poke salad. Michael is true country boy can survive. I told Rob the other day, because there's just some things we are very different on. And although I did spend a lot of time on the farm, my uncle's farm. I spent a lot of time in the country around country folk and all that. I was raised basically suburban. I mean, not huge suburban, but we lived right out, not far from the city. So we went out there on the, down in the holler, where you just 20 miles from the store or something, and you just make things work. I didn't live like that, so it was always a quick jump for my mom to go to the pharmacy or whatever. So some of these stuff, and I get it, you can't afford or whatever to get the stuff. Let's try to get these other ones in. The next one is a definite in the South, although if you are A lot of Christians wouldn't do it. Some would, but whiskey and honey for a cough, the hot toddy, it definitely has done a lot in the South, probably around the world. Various versions of it, but I mean, people do it. Michael says that the black walnut has a lot of self-defense things in them. I had to cut one down because the drip line was killing my garden. He did. Well, a lot of people did, Barry. A lot of people did until they tried to stop you from getting it. But there's different versions of that, it's my understanding. I've never had it that I know of, but a lot of people swear by it. So, yeah. I'm not going to mention it because I think there's this one of our streams that would strike me down. And hopefully it didn't be putting it on the screen. I swear, it's just crazy. At least on that one. If they do, they do. But I'm not avoiding it. I'm just trying not to. We don't need another week down. But we're going to be doing some. You got to get your Rumble accounts because we're going to do some just Rumbles and we talk about some more serious subjects. Barry says it's called pot liquor. What? You just mix it on a pot. I don't know where. Sometimes I don't know where y'all go with this stuff. Pot liquor. I know what you're saying, but the way it sounds like. Oh no, Barry, I'm sorry, I can't. House smells really good. Eat collard greens and cornbread. Cornbread, yes. Collard greens. No, I leave the house when that happens. I come home from work and my wife's got that stuff on. I'm like, what is that horrible smell? And they just look at me and start laughing because they know. And my son will say, yeah, got the greens on, Dad. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'll say, when is it going to be done? You know why, Barry? You're supposed to eat like crap. Eat it the first year, it cleans you out for an entire year. And what does that say? Why are you eating that? Oh, saltwater gargle for toothache. Very much has been done at my house. It's effective to a point. At a certain point, you can live in the ocean and live under the water, and salt water is not going to help. It does ease some gum pain, slight low grade toothache, but at a certain point, because those nerves are right there, and you ain't salt water, you ain't happening. And that's one of the worst pains to me there is a bad toothache. Earache too, but toothaches because I just right on that nerve. Right on that nerve. I was so thankful when I broke my tooth and I got to go back and get my cap and everything. But they said, you were so fortunate that you didn't have pain. It was right there at the nerve. And they said, wow, they couldn't believe I didn't have pain. They said, you were blessed. I said, well, I know it. Number 11, definite aloe vera for burns. That became big back when I was young. They like all of a sudden they rediscovered it. And now you hear it's very commonplace, but definitely works and is used. All right, I think of my dad now. Number 12, castor oil for constipation. A spoonful with a prayer gets things moving. It's a clean you out kind of thing too. That's one of those cure-alls. My daddy said it would be two tablespoons, and you didn't want no more. If you said I can't go to school, here she come with a castor oil and a spoon, and if you said you were sick, you're getting it anyway, whether you went or not. So she'd throw that in you, and then you went on and you went to school. You got up and you got, no matter how bad you felt, because you did not want another dose. It was very disgusting. My dad said it did. My dad said it worked because you hated it so bad, you forced yourself to get better. But he didn't name it for constipation per se. He just, I can see where it would do that because it's got to be just horrible to hit your stomach. and your system. So definitely. Barry says cinnamon schnapps and a piece of peppermint. Oh, it's the peppermint for taste. I mean, it's some, why, why the peppermint? I mean, is that what it is? You know, I don't get that part. Other if it's just to clear the taste of your mouth, makes sense. But I don't, why not just cinnamon schnapps? So. Let's get three more here, then we're coming up on our break. We'll get to our break, and then we'll come back and talk about a few more. I have heard of this. I don't know that my family ever did it, but you hear a lot about it in the old shows. The mustard plaster for chest cold. I have heard of that. You mix the mustard powder with flour and water, spread on the cloth, and place on the chest. It's very big. Anything like that would help. Things that also get up in your nose. Definitely was used. I've heard about it, and I guess I don't know if that worked. I don't know what made it work, but most time people wanted something that was very strong, getting up in your your smeller. So the mustard plaster for chest colds. Here's another one that, by gosh, I'm not doing. Well, I mean, one of them I guess we kind of do, but. I've never heard of this, and it sounds like Michael. This sounds like the mountain folk right here. I got to be honest, man. This is hardcore, and it says turpentine and sugar for worms. It even says an old school remedy used cautiously, like you could die, to purge parasites. My God. I've never heard of that in my life. Turpentine and sugar for worms. My God, I know it's bad if Michael says never had to use that. They must have been a little higher up on the mountain. I mean, if y'all weren't on the peak of the mountain, Granny wasn't on the very peak. Yeah, never had worms. Well, by God, if they were bringing this towards you, you would tell them you didn't have worms. Turpentine. I'm good. Oh, I mean, I wouldn't want worms either, but geez. Ouch. Don't let it match. I mean, ow. That just sounds rough right there. In a lot of ways, brother. In a lot of ways. Man. And I've never heard of this. I wish Rob was here. His love of pecan coffee. I've never heard of this, though. Let's see. Barry says Epsom salt for constipation. I've never heard of that either. That usually goes in to soak my feet, brother. I've never heard of it. Not saying it don't work. I'm just saying I've never heard of it. And Granny brushed her teeth with black gum limp. I have heard of that. That's an old natural way to keep the teeth clean and save money. Save money. I mean, if you go far enough back, there wasn't no stores around. I mean, you had to come up with something. I mean, I love that scene in that movie. What's the one? It's the one with Robert Duvall and his nephew, and they run the horses, the little Chinese girls. It's what is the name of that? Very early in that. That's a great movie, but very early in that movie, he says the boy in. And he wasn't calling it that, but they used to not have it. But this was like, he had heard about it, I guess, and he just got tired of the rough stuff. But he sent him in for basically toilet paper, is what he sent him in for. He wanted something a little softer. So, but there's all kinds of things like that. Michael says it says on Epsom salt. It says on the Epsom salt box for laxative. Oh, Okay. Wow. You know what you got to do is just go to eat one of those gut bombs. I'm not going to say the place since I'm on the air, but you know what I mean. It works. It works. Oh, there's more than one place, by the way. Let me give you one more. We got catalogs for backup. Hit the outhouse. I have used one in my life. I told y'all that when we moved into Tennessee, my dad had this big plan to rent our house and moved us up to this godforsaken place I'm not going to name. Oh, man. I felt like I stepped back in the wood, but I was just a little kid. I was only about 5, but they were finishing up the bathroom. So we used the outhouse, which was situated just not far from a railroad track. And if you were in there and that train come along, it shook everything in the house anyway. So the outhouse was closer to the train tracks, and it got rough. Let me tell you, it scared me. I was just a little boy. I was scared of the outhouse. I'm like, what? It was about 1 month before they got the bathroom finished. My dad was in a hurry. I'm like, what are we doing? I mean, I'm 5 and I'm not trying to figure this out. Like, why did we move away from home? Why do we not have a bathroom? Why do I have to go in there and use that? I mean, I'm 5, or I don't think I was 6 yet. I'm pretty sure I was 5 because we were 6. I was back home. I think about 6 to 8 months of that, my mom said, we're going home. Oh, wow. That's pretty late going on there, brother. 1979 was the outhouse. Wow. So you, so throughout the Jimmy Carter years, you still had the outhouse. I just have this image of newspaper articles about his presidency in your outhouse. Oh, rest in peace. No disrespect intended, but Barry says I've always heard that witch hazel as an astringent. Put anything with which isn't good. I don't know. I don't know anything about witch hazel, to be honest. Interesting. All right, the last one. We'll take a break. Pecan leaves for pecan tea. Excuse me. Pecan tea for stress. Boil pecan shells for a calming brew, popular in pecan country or pecan country. See, Rob's down there in South Georgia. See, he could answer to this. I've never heard of that for stress. Pecan tea for stress. I could see where it. I mean, just the fact you're sitting back sipping on some tea, I guess would help stress. I don't know why it would be particularly pecan, but a lot of things like that. Things. I mean, in the war between the states, we know, Barry, that. Sorry, I've seen Michael's post. They boiled a lot of things for coffee, in the field. So I could see it. Michael says bourbon for stress. Again, enough of it. You're not only not stressed, you're out. Oh, we've got some real winners here. This second part maybe is wilder than the first part of this list. So we're at number 15. We've got 30 of these. And number 30 I have heard of, and I think it's crazy. But I've heard people swear by it, but I've also heard the same cure or use it for something else. I know things have multi-uses, but I've never heard of this. So we're going to take a quick break. We come back. We'll get to the second part of this wild list about home remedies, buying or selling. Most of this first list we bought. I did not on some of them. 2 or 3. I think it was 2. I'm definitely not buying on several in the second list. Several. How many? I'm not sure yet, but we'll get to that in just a minute. Again, thank you for your support of the Southern Fried Podcast and Cornbread Nation. And as you see, I don't have the scroll going out. I still have Patriot Mobile up there. Remember, Patriot Mobile, use the promo code Cornbread, as you see on screen. Make the switch today. Let's go and talk about Mammoth Nation. We'll be right back. And on Podbean side, I don't know if I have Mammoth's commercial up in there. So if you're in Podbean, we'll probably run one for W or something. So we'll be right back. Thanks, folks. Stay with us. Hey, Southern Fried fans and your Cornbread Nation. Well, yeah, that's right. We're going to advertise for Mammoth Nation. To all proud Americans, we call attention to these thoughts. Are you tired of woke corporations that don't align with your values? I know we are. Look no further than Mammoth Nation, the ultimate destination for patriots like you and me and Rob and everybody else, including old crazy Uncle Jeb, who believe in putting America first. Here at the Southern Fried Podcast, we're proud to partner with Mammoth Nation because they share our unwavering commitment to faith, family, and yes, freedom. Just like us, Mammoth Nation believes in the power of the American spirit and the importance of preserving our great nation's heritage. When you join Mammoth Nation, you're not just getting access to amazing discounts on products and services. You're becoming a part of a community that stands against the forces trying to tear our country apart. From supporting veterans and first responders to promoting Christian values, Mammoth Nation is the go-to platform for conservatives who want to make their voices heard. So what are you waiting for? Join the Mammoth Nation movement today and start enjoying exclusive deals from businesses that share your America First values. Together, we can make America great again, one purchase at a time. Don't miss out on this opportunity to support a company that truly cares about our nation's future. Sign up for Mammoth Nation now and experience the difference of a community that puts America first. Use that QR code on the screen, folks, and that will take you right to the website where we also will be helped in your support of these values. We are customers of this great American company. Rob is a monthly supporter, and I am a lifetime member of Mammoth Nation. We're so appreciative of companies like this. Please be a supporter, not just for us, but for America. These companies.
Yes, Robin, Dave, y'all.
Southern Fried Podcast. And we're back. We're going to play one more. I want to tell you about our store. We've been promoting it a little bit. We wanted to promote it a little bit more and let you know we've been adding some designs to it, and we're continuing to do that. Right now, there's a summer sale going on. You're going to see here in just a second what kind of discounts you can get. They're pretty amazing. Our old store became cumbersome and it was not easily updated, and we have since went to a new store, and the old one is still there, and if you decide to shop there, that's fine. But this is our new store, and it is so easy for us to manage, and we want to thank the folks at Threadless for that. So on the screen right now, you see some shirts of some of the different designs. One of our newest one is the Georgia outline, the red one. We really like that. You see some of our classic designs. You see some here that you may not have seen before. And again, we're designing and adding to just about every week. You see hats. There is just about anything in there, and we're trying to add more products all the time, as well as those new designs. So go shop at the Southern Fried Podcast store, and you'll be able to get some of these things too. Here's the QR code for that. You can see at the top of the page, 40% off right now. These are amazing prices going on. The store is very affordable. Me and Rob wanted as best the prices as we could get, and this is the place that we found to be able to do it. And there's the address. You can copy that out or use the QR code. We thank you for your support of the Southern Fried Podcast and watching the shows and supporting us and letting us know how much you enjoy it. You mean a lot to us. Take care. God bless, and we'll see you soon.
In the woods, you see, my woman and the kids and the dogs and me. got a shotgun, a rifle, and a
Clapper.
All right, we're back. We're back. Let me bring Podbean back in. And Michael says he quit drinking 31 years ago, so he's been stressed for years. Oh, my goodness. And he also asks, is there an SFP Doge commission? If there is, you can be on it. I was reading last night, and I went to the legacy media and read some of CNN's reporting about the protests. Just the stuff they were saying in there cracked me up. I mean, talking about the show of force and just acting like that. Elon is just out there taking the country, taking it over. He's like the second lieutenant to the Nazi regime or something. Man, they really like to throw the smoke bombs. They like to blow a lot of smoke. So, but welcome back. Rob's not here. Miss Elizabeth's not here. Not feeling good. Rob, in fact, had to go to the hospital and was dehydrated. That's some bad sick right there. Some bad sick. Y'all pray for him. Not good. The change in weather, typically a lot of people right now are dealing with pollen or this temperature drop. That can cause people to have, get sick, at least head colds and stuff like that. But they told him, I think that's what he said in the text, that there was a bad virus going around. Oh my gosh. I hope they get it all burned out. Get it all burned out before we go south. My gosh. Would that be horrible to go on a trip and be just sick like that? Yeah. So get your Lysols out. I don't know what the natural would be. Do they use the turpentine for Lysol? But I tell you, it was a lot of people used to believe, not so much for curing anything, but a lot of people for a good smell in the house and to kill. I think they felt like it killed germs. It was very common. I used to see this a lot. You don't see it anymore. And that's to put a little what is it? On the stove, on a sim, on like a warmer. What am I thinking of? It's I'm trying to think of the name a chemical was, but a lot of people would do it, make the house smell good. But that's what they believe. I used to know a lady I worked with her, and she did that. And it was rough on your eyes. Not good for you to do. So it burned stuff out, but it burned your eyes out. And I had a friend, my best friend in the world, and God rest his soul. He was violently murdered, and I miss him still. Just love him to death. And he's just I'll see him again one day. And anyway, we'd go over there, and we were only because he died when we were both 21, so we was probably like 20, 19, probably 19 at the time. Because I think, well, actually, we were a little younger than that, because I think I was 17 when I went to work. 17 or 18 when I went to work for this one place. And this is where I met this lady, and she would do that. And he would, the whole time he was there, I mean, he would just be wiping his eyes and blowing his nose. And he figured out what was going on, so he'd go in there and cut it off. She'd discover it and turn it back up. But, a lot of people did a lot of stuff like this. All right, let's get the second part of our list and get through it. And we'll go from there and get through the show. So, cucumber slices for puffy eyes. I'm not doing it. I don't know if it works. I'm not doing it. Chilled slices on the eyes reduce swelling after a long night. Oh my gosh, what kind of a night have you had that you've got that kind of puffy eyes anyway? I mean, have you ever heard of that? Cucumber slices for puffy eyes. Come on. I could just see me doing that. Back when I was young, I could just see people, some of my friends going, what the heck are you doing? Mom, Grandma said it worked. Put some cucumber slices. My eyes are a little puffy. They say, oh, well, bless your heart. Your eyes are puffy. Man up. I've never heard of this. I've heard a quarter on the eyes of a dead man or 50-cent pieces or something like that. I think I'd rather have the 50-cent pieces. Cucumbers. I don't even like cucumbers. I know all Southerners just let out a moan. Oh, you don't like cucumbers. I can eat them. It's one of those deals I can take it or leave it. And usually I leave it. My wife loves them. She loves cucumbers. You know, she'll get too many of them though and can't eat them all. She'll think truly her eyes overloading, you know. Michael, I'm going to come back to potatoes at the end. We'll tell you about some crazy stuff. Welders have used potato halves on eyes for burn by seeing art for so long. I've done it a few times. Well, aren't they supposed to have? I mean, come on, man. Didn't they just wear the mask? I mean, you know, the hood. Hey, Bob, your eyes getting pretty red. Yeah, I got a potato in the lunch sack. I'm gonna cut it up in here. What do you have to hold it on or just rub it? Sorry, I'm not making fun, Michael. I'm just trying to figure this out. Like, do you just? Oh, some things will get through the lenses. Well, what the heck? Maybe the lenses are wore out. You got to answer my question though. What do you do? What do you do for? I mean, do you hold it there? Do you rub it on? I mean, what do you do with that? The old Idaho potato, the russet potato. Oh, cucumber slices for puffy eyes. Uh, oh, oh man, I'm not doing it. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. If I did something like that, my wife would not be able to go to sleep for laughing at me. Like, what are you doing? I need a potato. I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna put my eyes on that. Hey, whatever works, works. But I'm telling you, around the Cordell household, yeah, I get it, man. I get it. But gosh, oh man, honey, I'm home. Man, your eyes are red. Yeah, stainless today. Oh, I'll get the potato. You're having potatoes for dinner, but I've got you a potato for your eyes. Or what if you cooked them all? Oh, I don't have any extra. I got to go get some tomorrow. I guess you grew them, so maybe you have plenty. All right, number 17. Are you kidding me? This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Most of the time, the welder helpers have it. You're killing me, man. I mean, like the welder helpers, they just carry around a potato for the. I've never heard of that in my life. The welder helpers have the potato. Oh. Oh, Lord have mercy. Number 17, I'm not doing, and I call BS. Because one is just as bad as the other to me. It's called a vinegar soak for smelly feet. Who wants to smell the vinegar? I get feet stinking is not a pretty thing. Oh no, they don't wear helmets sometimes. They are insisting on fitting up pieces per time. Oh man, Michael, you're you're just a real gem. I'm telling you and Barry, y'all both bring some funny stuff to me. Oh, so are you soaking your feet in the vinegar and water? I can't stand the smell of vinegar. I think I just wash my feet really good. Is that not what soap and water's for? Why do we have to go? Maybe you soak the boots in the vinegar and draw them out. I mean, seriously, if you wash your feet, they don't stink no more, do they? I mean, I don't like feet. I mean, I've told you this before. I think feet are disgusting. They're ugly, man. Most feet are ugly, man. We put them through uh, we put them through the paces, man. They're stuck in them old shoes and boots, and you get corns and blisters, and feet are wrinkled and discolored and crooked toes, and they're disgusting. That, that's what you need. Walnut husk. What? Inquiring minds. I mean, can't we just wash the feet? I mean, is that not standard? I mean, there's been a few times where the grandkid, they get a little lazy, and sometimes they're teenage years, and they'll wear the same socks, or they don't go, or they go sockless. That's all very big. And you're like, is that your feet? I mean, I'm big on that. Like, that's one thing I don't put up with is stinky feet. It's like, go wash your feet, but then that's like settles it. It solves it. I don't know why you got to go this whole vinegar soak, stink up the whole house. I get it. Vinegar's got some vinegar. It does have a lot of uses, a lot. I think vinegar's no plumber's trick, ain't it? You just, which hard to tell you something. You just keep a good old dose of vinegar down the drains, and you shouldn't never have much trouble, is what they say. I mean, that's an old man. I'm just not doing it. Vinegar soap for smelly feet. I'm not doing this one either. I told you, list 2 was bad for me, man. Raw onion for earache. It makes no sense to me. Warm a slice of onion. My God, I'm never going to be able to think about my slice of onion ever again without thinking of this. And hold it near the ear, not in. I would hope, I would hope there's not anybody stupid enough to put it in their ear. I just got this image. This happens all the time. We go to a restaurant, and I've kind of cut back a little bit on onion because, like I said, my stomach's a little sensitive. I still eat onion. I just don't usually just eat like I could eat a Vidalia by itself, but I know I've cut back. But my wife will order a slice of onion. I can just, you can tell the waitress to say, "Could you bring me a slice of onion?" She said, "Oh, for your beans? No, for my earache." What did you say? I got an earache, and I got to hold it up here by the ear. I've never heard of this in my life. It says raw. It made sure to say raw, so you don't have the grilled onions up there. I guess it's the smell off of it. That I don't know. Has anybody ever heard of that? God, that sounds like an old tale right there. Raw onion for earache. Oh, molasses for iron boost. A spoonful of blackstrap molasses for energy and rich blood. Jenna, I haven't either, Miss Jenna. I haven't either. I just think this is some mountain stuff, but it was further up the hill from Michael, his granny anyway. Further up the hill. I mean, there's people on up. The further you go, you get a little further out. There's a little bit more going on. I don't know about the molasses. I really don't know. I don't know. I've heard of people using molasses for a lot of stuff, but usually not for ailments. Maybe. I'm going to say maybe 50-50 on this, that I buy it just because I don't know everything that molasses is good for. It sort of kind of sounds a little iffy to me, just to be honest. But I'm not going to go full on calling it bullcrap. But I'm leaning that way. But I'm going to stay right in the middle on this one because I really don't know. And I'm calling BS on this too. I mean, if you got the hiccups, I've never had to do anything other than small sips of water, right? None. Hiccups gone. Have you ever heard of this? Butter and sugar. What the heck? A small dab swallowed slowly to stop the spasms. If I swallowed that, there's going to be one big spasm. It's going to be my lunch. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. That sounds like some real backwood crap right there. I'm with you. What the heck? I'm not doing it. Well, I mean, I might could go with the sugar. I don't know. I've never heard of that. Okay, but freaking butter? It's for my roll, man. It's for my toast. I'm not swallowing a dab of butter. I ain't doing it. Once again, we're at the restaurant. You say, could you bring some more butter? They say, oh, you want some more rolls? No, I've got the hiccups. They're going to look at you like, where the Hades did you come from? I have never heard of that in my life. And I guess it's so disgusting that you would forget about the hiccups. I guess just because you're putting something in your throat. I don't know. Maybe it works. I ain't doing it. But I've never had to do anything else but sips of water. I get the hiccups sometimes, especially with a little bit of acid reflux. It happens. 9 sips, baby. It always works. I've never not had that work. So I'm doing water. I'm not doing butter. Margarine? This is the dumbest thing. See you, Barry. Take care, brother. Glad to have you in here. My God. Oh, man. Sweet potato. Now, let me just say, I'm not a sweet potato fan. But sweet potato for diarrhea. Baked and mashed. It's gentle on the stomach. I don't know. I think that would be harder on my system, and I don't like sweet potatoes, so I might have another problem then. But I just try to put some cultured yogurt down. That's a good healthy choice. But I've never heard of this either. Never, never, never. I wonder if the sweet potato, Michael, does the sweet potato work on the eyes as well? Just saying. I don't know. I've never heard of that. Sweet potato for diarrhea. Oh, yeah, cheese will clog you up, says Michael. No doubt. All right, we got, let's see, 9 or 10 more here. We'll get through them, then we'll chat a little bit before the end of the show. Let's see here. Peppermint tea for nausea. Fresh leaves steeped in hot water settle an upset belly. I I don't know. Uh, I don't think that would work for me. I think that sounds like a regional thing to me. Maybe it does work. I don't know. I've never heard of it, and I don't think I'm going to try it. I just try to drink a little Sprite or something for nausea. Actually, usually if you have a little nausea, you just let it take its course, and nausea is usually gone. But I get it. Sometimes you can't stop. But peppermint tea. Is that something maybe that people that get sick of their stomach going to have a baby? Maybe that where this come from? I don't know. I wish Rob was here. I really do. He would have loved this show. I think he would have really got into some of these, and some of them I think he would have called BS on, but he would probably had a big list of his own. We'll have to come back to it part 2. Lord, sorry, lard and camphor for chapped skin. Rub on hands or lips in winter for healing. Yeah, camphor is very common. It's lard, like the poor person's version. You don't go buy it. You just get some lard. I don't know. Yeah, Miss Judith. Michael says yes. Just Judith says I thought it was ginger tea for nausea. I see it working. I'm not a big hot tea kind of guy, but I could see where it would have a calming effect on your stomach. So I'm not dismissing it. I just don't think I would ever do it. And thankfully, I'm not that way very often. Michael says either one. Lard, I guess I could see it working because it would just act as a covering to keep winter, cold, brisk, harsh weather off your skin. So I'm buying on this one, but I think I'm using the camphor. I don't think I'm using lard. I get it. Use whatever you had in the kitchen. You better hope you had a lot of options. All right. I'm going to tell my part here because we got down to number 24. And I have heard so many home remedies for warts, not warps, warts. They say garlic for warts. Crush a clove, tape it over the wart, and wait it out. How long? I don't know. Michael, lard would probably work because we don't see pigs chapped. Garlic, I've not heard. Nobody would want to be around you if you put that on your wart. I've had some warts. In fact, I've got one on my little finger now I need to take care of. And I've been to doctors and had them frozen and used other things and saw them clear up. But this is what somebody told me. And if they're listening, I love you. People I went to church with and family. This is what they said. This sounds like some real country legend type of stuff. So one time I was at my church and I had a couple of warts come up on my hand, and I mentioned it in the service once, and I hated shaking hands because I had these warts, Figured make people feel icky. And so people said, "Preacher, we got the cure all for you. You cut a potato in half. You put one half on the wart, and you bury the other half, and your wart will be gone." Now that sounds like something out of a witchcraft book to me. I said, "Why do you got to bury the other half? I mean, it makes no sense to me." Oh, it works. It works every time. Have you ever heard of that? Okay, you've heard it, but have you ever seen it happen? Can anybody tell me in this chat that they've seen that work? I want to hear that you've heard it work. I want to hear that you've seen it work, and I want to know why. That you got to bury the other half. I never did it. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. I'm not doing it. I might not have said it that way. I didn't want to, be rough, but I was thinking back in my head, I ain't doing that. Garlic for warts, or the old potato trick. They always say there's a sucker born every minute. Sometimes I feel like people trying to. Miss Jenna says, I haven't, but I've heard putting duct tape on them, and I have heard that. I think putting something on it to deny it, the air and stuff, kind of, I could see that. I don't get why somebody says you got to bury the other half in the ground. Because taters have eyes and they want it hidden. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, Jake, I don't think I still have it in here. I think I removed it. So we had to have the room, and we've still got it. I just don't have it uploaded in StreamYard. Oatmeal bath for poison ivy. Oh, God, it just sounds rough. Soak in a tub with oatmeal to calm the itch. I've ate oatmeal. I get it. People can make it into stuff. But a whole bath? I mean, what the heck? Jenna says yes. You know what? I guess if I was itching, I guess I would try it. Because that's a bad itch. But I sure wouldn't like it. Michael says, I've heard that and put Clorox on poison oak. I think I've heard that too. Oh, oatmeal bath for poison ivy. I used to be very susceptible. I could get it if you were, and it seemed like if the wind blew the right way, I could get both. Thankfully, have not had either of those in a long, long time. All right, I've never heard of this either. This sounds like some real Michael stuff right here. I say that with all due respect. A banana peel for splinters. Tape the inside of a peel over a splinter to draw it out overnight. I say that's a bunch of junk. If you did that, Michael, all respect. A banana peel? Come on. Can't we just get the needle hot and get it out? Oh, that's what we always did. A banana peel over splinters. If I had told my daddy that I had a splinter, Michael says never did. My dad would say, well, get it out, boy. He would say, I'll get that for you. And I'd be like, oh, no. I get my mom to do it. If I told him I needed a banana peel for that, he would laugh. He would say, "Come on, boy, just get that thing out." That's wild. I've never heard of that. A banana peel for splinters. I'm betting that Michael has seen this one. Yeah, there you go, Michael. Banana or pocket knife was for. Hey, my boy, would you warm that up? My oldest boy is in here. I'm gonna get him to work for a pocket knife over here. Yeah. Salt pork for cuts. It even says an old remedy. Tie a piece over a wound to pull out infection. I could see that working for many reasons. I've never heard of it, but I could see it happening. Michael, I kind of think he says, yeah. I felt like he was in on that one. Miss Judith, yes, we're buying. I've never done it, but I'm buying. Has multiple uses, and she says she's done it. Okay, there you go. That's the kind of involvement I'm looking for. I'm just looking forward on some of the other stuff. Salt will eat out infected places. And I do believe that. Yes, I do believe that. That may be the most solid one on here, actually. There was a lot done with salt pork in the olden days. That is an old remedy. You talk to the old farmers that people that, well, some of them are even dead now, but when they were kids, they talk about a lot of stuff that deal with salt pork. So I was definitely in on that one. I didn't know if y'all done it. I'm glad to hear that. But it just sounded right to me because I've heard them talk about that. 3 more. Ladies or men who have muscle pain. Ginger tea for cramps. Ginger tea. Here we're back to teas again. And I'm not going to call total BS on tea. I've never used tea a lot. But maybe there's something in the ginger that helps with that. I don't know. But ginger tea for cramps. They turn that other one off. Ginger tea for cramps. Yeah, Michael, I've heard that. Pickle juice for cramps. So very common. In fact, people in my church now, they talk about that. They have like a Charlie horse or something like that in the middle of the night. They just get up and drink pickle juice. Yeah, Miss Jennifer, I'm not a hot tea person either, so I don't know, but I kind of think it probably helps. I bet you have, Michael. I'm not doing it, by the way. Give me the cramp. I'd throw up if I drank pickle juice. Oh. All right, here's you one. These last two. I don't know. The one I just don't believe. Corn silk tea for UTIs. Corn silk tea for UTIs. Steep dried corn silk to flush the bladder straight from the farm. Jenna says, yes, I'll buy pickle juice, little bottles for mom. Oh. I mean, I know a lot of people do it. I can't stand it, so I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. But I get it, and they say it works, and I believe it. Corn silk tea for urinary tract infection. I've never heard of this, but again, a corn silk tea. We've talked about teas a lot. Teas have multiple uses. I'm going to have to defer to that. Sorry, somebody was trying to call in, so went on my computer. But corn silk tea for UTIs, I could see that. I could see that working. And the last one, I don't see at all. Yeah, never heard of that tea. I hadn't either. I've never heard of that tea. So that sounds maybe that's a regional thing. Some of these things I think come from regional, it's just not in our region. They're regional, but they're not in our region. I've heard of this last one. This is the last one I got tonight, and I've heard people say it. I'm not doing it. WD-40 for arthritis. Y'all in, you out. WD-40 for arthritis. I've heard of people talk about this. I've also heard of WD-40 to clean your car with and everything else. I've heard of people use WD-40 for a wax on their car. I'm not doing it. But I know some people. I know some people that have that swear by it. And it actually calls us out in the South because it says some Southerners swear a light spray on joints eases stiffness, not ingested. I have heard of this from some old timers, not anybody that's young today, but some of the old timers swear that it would, on their knees especially. I'm not doing it. I'm just not going to do it. But that is definitely, and I've got a couple more here. We'll do a couple of more as a bonus. But I've heard of it. I've never. I think it's just a folklore. I don't think it really works. But you know what? Again, if they believe it enough, that I believe that anything can probably be effective. So let's do a couple of more. Along the same line, coal oil. I've never done it. I've dealt with coal oil. A dab of kerosene used very sparingly, rubbed on aches. Old timers insist it works. I think it's along the same line of thought, and I'm sure a lot of old timers probably believe that. I'm not going to dismiss that. Back to the potatoes sliced for headaches. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it on the eyes. I'm not doing it for the headache. Place a raw potato sliced on the forehead or temples to draw out the pain. I'm not buying. I'm selling on that one. I'm not doing that. Epsom salt for swelling, yes. Yes. Definitely have done that. Definitely done the Epsom. Epsom salt is also one of those things that has multiple uses. So I'm buying. I'm buying on that one. That was definitely something that has been used before. So. And the last one, the absolute last one I have, is fig poultice for skin tags. I've never heard of this either. Skin poultice for skin tags. Mash fresh, I can't even say it. Mash fresh figs, applied to the spot and cover, said to shrink them over time. I think it goes back to the same thing as like the garlic and the potato and whatever. I'm not sure any of that works, but that's what people say. Miss Jennifer, I do duct tape before I do. Well, he's got some duct tape around. Duct tape has multiple uses too. It's not usually used in home remedies. It's more of a fixing things, temporarily anyway. But that's a pretty good list. Most of them I'd heard of, or some of them I have never heard of, and there's some of them I'm just not doing. I will suffer. There's a couple of funny old 70s shows that I thought about one of them was All in the Family. I was trying to think of what she was trying to give him, and he said, Archie said, "I'm not doing it." It's just the same. He was kind of a skeptic too on some stuff like that. And Edith definitely, her family definitely would have been into old, home remedies and stuff like that. You could tell, and he wasn't down with any of that or a lot of it. So there's probably 1,000 more, to be honest. You used, as Michael was talking about, you used what you had, and you figured out a way. I mean, I think sometimes people use stuff and people just got better, and they thought, well, maybe it does work. Maybe it works, but some of it is a definite, and some, yeah, Michael, see you, buddy. Some of it is tried and true. Some of it is iffy, and some of it I think crapola, just to be honest. But like I said, if you believe it enough, then it works. If you believe it enough, it works. And when you're poor, which most of us were raised poor, you do what you got to do to get by. And it wasn't no running to the store. You just found something at home. I just wonder about the trial and error of it. Well, let's try this. Come here, little Johnny Boo. Let's see what we got here. Ouch, that hurt. Well, okay, that didn't work. Let's try something else. Actually, I think a lot of this, not some of it, but some of it, taking care of your animals. They had to find ways to take care of animals. And a lot of things, they just transferred over. We're talking about salves and stuff like that, and salt pork. And, they figured out a way. So they tried it on animals first for some things. And that was, very visible injuries or things or cuts or whatever. I mean, things got tried like that. And then somebody said, hey, well, worked on the pig, worked on the goat. Let's see how it does on me. So, trial and error. And like I said, I bet if you went to the old country, if you went over to England and Ireland, and some of this stuff probably, not the newer stuff, but some of the stuff, maybe the potato stuff probably goes back to Ireland. I bet that a lot of that is very old remedies from the old countries where people come over and brought it with them. I'd say probably in the upper mid, up on the East Coast where a lot of the Germans came in. There's probably a lot of regional stuff there that were brought in from Germany. A lot of your German Baptists come in, I'm sure, that there was a lot of stuff like that. You get into your Mennonite and Amish communities and stuff. There's tons of stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, but some of that sounded crazy to me, but the cure was worse than what you had. But one of them, now I know that a lot of people swear by it, and some people you can buy them, but I'm not doing this either. My mother-in-law swore by it, but to burn the candle for your earwax or earache or anything like that. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. She would do that. I'm just not going to do it. There's other things you can get, but she swore by it. But that seems a little crazy to me. Also, one lady was put stuff. I can't remember what she wanted to put down my granddaughter's ear for an earache, and I said absolutely not. Love you, not doing it. I don't remember what it was, and I said I just one of those deals where I said absolutely not. I said we'll get some medicine and we'll help her. She'll be okay, but. She was one of those from way. I mean, she was on a farm like that. She had some stuff. She's a great lady. She's with the Lord now, but she had a lot of stuff like that she swore by that would work. Raised poor, and I get it. You did what you had to do, but some of that stuff I thought, well, we don't have to do that. We're not doing it. So that's your Mama Said for tonight. We just got a few moments left. Thanks for everybody for being in here. We got the racing hour will be Thursday night this week. Got to Darlington, the fun race at Darlington to talk about. Still, the Jeb and Bubba show did not air over the weekend. We're still working out a couple of details on that. I think it will be finished up tomorrow. If it is, we'll release it tomorrow. Probably. I think we'll be able to get that done tomorrow and finish up what we need to do. Also, still talking about. I remember that about the Reagan assassination attempt. I'm still putting that together. That'll happen in the morning. I'll be here for the Southern Fried Patriotic not patriotic. No, it is patriotic. Southern Fried Patriot Morning Show. We'll be up live with that. So look for that, and we'll have programming tomorrow night of some kind. Probably Southern Talk be on or something. We'll see. Maybe a sports show. I want to talk some sports. Braves. They're horrible, but we can talk about baseball and stuff. For those that like sports, but we'll probably put together some stuff tomorrow. In the morning, and also be looking for the MAGA Minute, and we'll air the MAGA Minute on the show in the morning, as well as the Bible devotional. And Wednesday, we go back to our regular morning and evening shows. Hopefully, Hump Day News. Hopefully, Rob is better by then. I think he will be. Get all mended up and get back up on the show. And hopefully, we will have our website. I've checked the emails today. Did not get the go on that yet. They should be sending me the link to it and all the details. We're still waiting on that to happen. Don't forget to support Mammoth Nation, Patriot Mobile, and Dubby, and Podbean, if you're so inclined to do that. And visit our store. We've been talking about it. I'm gonna add some new logos up this week. We've had I've been doing some ads on some of the other streams for Patriot Mobile. I've been putting some music with them and stuff. And I did one for the president sitting at the Oval Office, sitting at the desk, and that has been maybe the most popular video we have ever had, short as it may be, in the history of our show. We have had several thousand views on that, and everything's been positive. I think one guy laughed at it, but he is one out of thousands, and I don't know where the numbers are at, but it's several thousand that people have just identified with that and love it. It's a Patriot Mobile commercial, but they just love the fact that he's sitting at the desk, and the music I put with it just seemed to all work, and those have been fun. So we have a couple like that are out there. We've got one with General Patton and General Omar Bradley. That's been very popular as well. So a lot of these air on things like TikTok and Clapper and Instagram. We put up a lot of stuff for that. That has been extremely popular. Some of them we bring in the show. As a matter of fact, I have that one of the president there. That has been our most popular video, short as it is, of all time. I mean, it's just amazing how that has taken off. And we're getting known more. We're up over 42,000 followers total, and people are being very kind to the podcast and sharing our stuff out, and we appreciate it. I am going to be on. I still one of these days we're still going to get up with Killer Carl. We just not been able to hook up. Angry Conservative 1981, been very kind to come in from the great state of Alabama. He has an interview series that he's doing. We've nailed down a date, and I think that date. Let me look at my calendar just to make sure that I've got this right. May 3rd. We'll give details. I'm going to be on an interview series that he does. He's already got some Saturdays booked up. So that was the first one he had over at the Angry Conservative 1981. So we'll get you some more information about that. We've got a politician coming up. I was trying to reach out today, and it didn't go through. I'm trying to reach out to a J6er who spent some time behind bars and wanted to get an insight on some of the stuff they went through. And we'll probably have to drop a couple of the streams to do it, just because there's some jerks out there. That'd be fine. The major ones will be here. Most of you come in and we'll let you know if we're going to do that. But I'm going to reach out again. The email didn't get through, but I'm going to try to get him up. And I was trying to give time. I knew they would be very busy when they first got out of prison, and they're trying to. There's a couple of them have some things where they're trying to help some people that are still, struggling under the weight of some things that they went through. And there's some ministries are jumping up, and there's one of them that was sent to me, and so I'm hopeful. I probably shouldn't even mention it till I can get it, but I feel good about it. I've been wanting to do it for some time, just on the down low. I haven't talked about it, but I've we've listened to a lot of their stories, we've heard their stories, and I want to have one bring up, and not only hear the story, but talk about how we can help some of those folks. And yes, there'll be ways you can donate and stuff, but every little bit helps. So we'll give them a chance to tell about their ministry and what they went through. And I think now that the initial crush is over of these many weeks and months, I think that since they've been, most of them have, were pardoned or charges dropped or whatever. I think we now can probably get in that mix and get somebody up to talk about that. There's so many of them, and we're going to try to reach out and get that done. So we got a lot of good things coming, some interviews and stuff that we're going to do. We're at the May Hall. We're going to talk to a lot of people. We'll have a lot of lives going on, but we'll also do some recording while we're there. We'll talk to a few people and get some thoughts of people in Georgia, the South, deep South, about things they see going on in the nation, things they see going on in their state, and just get their thoughts about stuff. So we love doing things like that. We work well together. We're in the field, and we're a good team. We work well together anyway, but especially when we're down like that. We were just, it's just natural for us to go around and do some stuff like that. We did so much, and we could have got a lot more done, but there was just, other considerations that were going on. So it will be Easter weekend, and we'll do something around that as well, probably. I'm sure, especially for that Sunday, on the Sunday morning in the Word. But yeah, we definitely will catch you in the morning. I don't think I'm going to be on again the rest of the night. I've got a few things I need to get done, upload some stuff for the podcast and things. I do like to do late shows, but I think it'll be more tomorrow night. Tuesday night is a good night for me to do a really late show. I do like an 11 to 12 or 12:30 kind of crazy late nighttime show. And different people come out from the West Coast or around the world. And I do need to email the precious lady who does a Rumble channel called the Dialogue Box. I so want to get her on. She came in our morning show on Sunday, and she just blessed my heart. Her story is truly, truly amazing, and she is an amazing person. We've never met, but we've talked, and I've watched her channel, the Dialogue Box. If you don't have Rumble, get Rumble. There's going to be some Rumble Premium live. So we've done some Rumble Premium. We're probably fixing to do a show that's going to be Rumble Premium only, just because we're trying to drive some stuff there for Rumble. And go ahead and download Rumble and get you something set up there. And if you become a premium subscriber, then we'll let you know. We're still about all the other programming. We're just going to do some Rumble Premium only. That we're a creator within Rumble now, and we'll be doing some of that. So it'll be something we don't normally do. It'll be different. It won't be anything that we normally do. It'll be called something else. It'll be on a different topic than we normally do. We're putting together that stuff now and learning how to use the studio. We're actually in the studio tonight. All of our shows now are filtered through the studio. Some of those we go premium only due to the creator content requirements, and we've fulfilled that for this month. And but we'll also be setting up some stuff. But we thank you for your support. What a blessing it is. Y'all are truly a blessing to us. And I missed my crew tonight. I hope y'all are getting better, feel better, and our prayers are with you. Let's be praying for our country. Pray for the president. Pray for peace on the earth. There's just so many bad things are going on out there. Hopefully the economics will kind of level out. I think a lot of people are concerned right now, and I understand it. There's a lot of things that are going on in the world that make things, really rough. Economically, the market's not responding well. Hopefully, those will get straightened out. But we'll catch you later. Salute to you. Thanks for being at the Southern Fried Podcast. Again, we come in kicking and screaming, and we'll probably play something, something heavy here, and then go out with some Irish type Highland music that I like as we get near the end. So we'll see you next time. Thanks for being here.
call so raw and true. Through misty hills the echoes play, chasing the ghosts of a fading day. The wind, it dances with the sound so bold, silver whispers through the cold. Mountains weep as the notes do climb, a sorrowful hymn that escapes through time. Oh, hear the cries of the rising pipes, feel the strain where the soul collides. A tune that wraps in a tartan shroud, lifting the hearts of the heavy bowed. With thirsty hills, quiet falls as the music spills, a thread of past where the future leads, carried afar by these ancient seas. A lone piper stands where the clouds kiss earth, a solitary hymn giving life its worth. Each note a tear for the ones we've missed, echoes that linger through highland mist. Breathing life where silence grows, the pipes unlock what the heart bestows. Eternal words without the sound, heavy hearts they firmly ground. Tune that wraps in a tartan shroud, lifting the hearts of the heavy bow.